Hey, have you ever taken a reflection of your life and tried to look in the mirror? I'm not talking about the physical mirror, but I'm talking about your life. You simply need to understand that you can reflect how your life has been in the past and find out what really went wrong in your life. Because most of the times, the reason why our life is full of misery and sadness, it's because of our own self. Don't think something is casing you, but in the actual sense, what's casing you is your works, simply is your behavior. Normally, the reason why things don't work out in our life is that instead of doing and focusing on other things, we want to comfort ourselves in the problems of others. You can't solve a problem while focusing on someone's problem. So you need to understand the problem that you have, first of all, and work on that problem. There is no problem solved without acceptance of the problem in the first place. First of all, you have to accept the problem that you have. The entire population in the world, in our country, like for instance, Zambia, we are not doing fine because we take much of our time trying to make up stories. Imagine those stories that you make on others if you would have spent time making a book out of the stories you make. You would have been transformed, you would have been on a different level. But you don't realize you're good at telling stories about people, even things that didn't transpire. You can create something. But today I'm here to tell you that life can be changed and you can become a better version of yourself because simply you need to focus on what you're good at. People continue getting developed because they don't pay attention at what is going on in other people's life. The reason why we are backsliding each time is that we are paying much of our time to look at what he has done, what she has done, simply which is wrong. Because you need to have a reflection of your life. I'm not asking you to put up your comments or whatever, but I want you, after listening to this message, because I believe that you're going to understand the message, and after that, you're going to look at the problems, reflect on your life, and look at what has been the major challenge of you not getting to where you're supposed to be. So those are the most important things that you need to understand, that you need to change your life in a bit, because even a tiny little change in your life will be valuable to your life because it will bring something that you never even expected. It's not that life is hard. It's just because you are cursing yourself through your behavior, your attitude towards people. People are not asking you to tell them your problems. They are not asking you to tell them your problems. They don't need to know what's going on in your life because that's your personal life. There are people that are not interested in what's going on in your life, and you are like forcing them to know what's happening in your life. What's happening in your life has to remain with you because that has just happened to you. And what has to talk is about your accomplishments. That's why people say work in silence and let your success speak for you. And this simply means that when you're working, you don't have to tell people to say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going through, what and what. People just need to see the outcomes and wonder to say, okay, what was really going on in this person's life? And this is why we're saying confuse the enemy. And confusing the enemy is by doing things in silence and let your success speak for you. And if you want to be successful after listening to these words and reflect on your life and find out what has been the problem, what has been the major challenge of you not accomplishing your goals, you're facing a lot of misery in your life. You're always crying, you're always complaining. Do you want to know why? No, it's not about the people surrounding you. The problem is with you and not with anybody else. Nobody is bringing those problems to you, but you are the problem causer. You cannot solve a problem by comforting yourself in what people have done wrong. You have to correct your wrongs first of all, and then move on correcting those mistakes that you had made. And this is a problem that major youths are facing, is that they cannot focus on their life. You've made a lot of mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes in life. You might not get it at the first time, but you need to figure out what's really going on in your life and what was the reason why you couldn't make it, and then find a better way to do that. So those are the main points you need to understand about your life, because that's your life. It's nobody's. It's your life. It's yours. It belongs to you, and at the end of the day, you need to be responsible for your life. Adulthood is taking responsibility for your life and nothing else. Apart from that, there's no proper definition for adulthood, because when you grow, you come out of the wings of your parents and you need to be on your own, do things on your own, and you're taking full responsibility of your life. You have to be upright morally and other stuffs. So that's what it means to grow up. And the reason, the major problem is that we are so focused on what others are doing, and forgetting that we're losing much of our time, and forgetting that we're losing out on major goals that would have accomplished. Remember to say time wasted is never regained, because the moment time is lost, you're not going to get enough time to do that, because that time has already been lost. I always tell people to say, focus on your life. Don't mind about mine. Whatever happens in my life, whatever shit happens in my life, that's not your problem, because it's not your problem to worry. The problem is for me. Yeah. Life is complicated, and you need to hustle for you to get to the top. If you don't hustle, you're not going to get to the top. And most of the times I spend much of my time figuring out what went wrong in my life and trying to find better means of correcting it and putting up something that will bring something on my table. I'm not talking about the mere table that you see in the kitchen, in the dining room, but I am talking about the table of life. What is it going to bring in my life? Because listen, life, you need to understand it. You don't need to master it, because it's a series of events that will occur simultaneously, and they will keep on occurring in different ways. So for every problem that comes in your life, you have to figure out the correct way to solve it. And guys, the moment you understand that you cannot solve a problem by looking at someone's problem, you will change. You will be transformed and move to the next level. There are most confused people in the world, and they are insane because they cannot look at their problems first. They always want to find out the problem that's going on in somebody's life. And I would tell those people to say, what the hell is going on with you? Are you some kind of messed up there or what? Simply, if you're so interested with my life and you're wanting to know what's going on in my life, I'll call you some insane guy, and you messed up at top there, because you are really messed up that you don't even realize to say, looking at my life, wanting to know about my life is the first problem that you have. And secondly is that the problem you have is that you cannot focus on your own. That's the second problem you have. Number two, that was number two. And number three, the problem you have is that you like wasting time, and your time will be wasted. That's the reason why you get to the age of 20, 50, 40, you have nothing accomplished, because you have spent much of your time looking at other people. So I hope this message was very interesting to you, and you learned one or two things from this, and hope you change your life. Hey guys, thanks very much. This was the Lion King Media, our YouTube channel. Hope you subscribe and you tune in for more interesting videos. The moment you just click the bell and subscribe button will always notify you with the best video that we upload.